Welcome to Affluence Influenced, where wealth is always within reach. When we think of the ultra-rich, we imagine yachts, sprawling mansions, private jets, and investment portfolios so vast they could buy small countries. But there's something far more subtle and powerful that many of the world's wealthiest people have in common. A quiet habit rooted in ancient practice, now embraced by the modern elite. That habit is meditation. Yes, the same stillness taught by monks and sages for centuries is now a cornerstone in the daily routines of billionaires, celebrities, CEOs, and powerful leaders across the globe. But why? Why would people who seemingly have everything, money, power, influence, turn to silence, breathwork, and inner observation as part of their success? The answer is as fascinating as it is instructive. And today we're peeling back the velvet curtain to discover how meditation has become a secret weapon of the affluent. The misconception is that the rich don't need peace, that they're too busy earning, expanding, building empires. But in reality, the stakes for them are higher, the decisions more impactful, and the pressure far more intense than most people realize. When you're at the top, managing teams of thousands, directing billion-dollar acquisitions, or simply trying to stay grounded while living in a world of constant attention and noise, mental clarity becomes a luxury of its own, one that can't be bought, only cultivated. That's where meditation comes in. Jeff Weiner, the former CEO of LinkedIn, meditates every morning to stay emotionally balanced. Oprah Winfrey swears by her twice daily practice. Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates and one of the most successful hedge fund managers in history, credits meditation with more than anything else for his financial success. These are not just endorsements. They are deeply ingrained rituals that these figures use to manage their energy, reduce reactivity, and maintain high performance in a demanding world. Meditation is no longer reserved for the spiritually curious or the bohemian wanderer. It's become mainstream in Silicon Valley boardrooms, Hollywood green rooms, and global finance summits. That shift didn't happen by accident. In a world overloaded with information, technology, competition, and expectation, the ability to pause, to anchor oneself amidst the noise, is invaluable. Think of it this way. If your brain is a supercomputer, then meditation is like defragmenting the hard drive every day. It clears cluttered thoughts, resets the emotional system, and enhances clarity. And for the ultra-rich, clarity means better decisions, faster reactions, and more sustainable energy over time. These benefits compound, just like their investments. Elon Musk once said, "The mind is our primary weapon." To keep it sharp, he too has explored meditative and mindfulness practices, especially when facing enormous decisions in engineering and business. But it's not only about performance. Meditation helps rich people stay emotionally regulated, a crucial skill when operating at such a high level. Imagine managing a multi-billion-dollar business while also being the face of a global brand, expected to perform under media scrutiny, public pressure, and financial volatility. Meditation builds the emotional muscle to stay calm during crisis, patient under stress, and present during chaos. It's like having an internal fortress no matter what's happening externally. For someone like Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter and Square, meditation isn't just a tool, it's a discipline. He once spent 10 days in complete silence at a Vipassana retreat, meditating for over 10 hours a day. That kind of mental training builds not only resilience, but clarity of purpose, a trait many wealthy individuals attribute to their consistent success. Meditation also creates space for vision. Many rich people are not just reacting to the world, they're creating it. And creation doesn't happen in a cluttered mind. It requires moments of insight, intuitive leaps, and deep listening to one's inner compass. That's something Steve Jobs deeply understood. He once said, "If you just sit and observe, you will see how restless your mind is. But over time, it does calm." Jobs practiced Zen meditation, and much of Apple's minimalist aesthetic and intuitive design philosophy is rooted in the clarity he accessed through stillness. Similarly, billionaire investor Mark Benioff, founder of Salesforce, incorporates meditation rooms in his corporate buildings. Understanding that a calm employee is often a more innovative one. The practice becomes not just personal, but cultural, a ripple effect from the top down. It's also worth mentioning that meditation helps navigate the emotional complexity of wealth. Contrary to popular belief, money doesn't eliminate stress, it transforms it. The problems may look different, but they're no less intense. There's the stress of maintaining wealth, the paranoia of being exploited, the emotional strain of public visibility, and the existential dilemma of what now, once the financial goals are met. Meditation offers a grounding counterbalance. It reconnects the individual with a sense of purpose beyond profit, helping them navigate legacy, impact, and identity. This is one reason why so many wealthy individuals eventually turn to philanthropy, not just to give back, but to find meaning. Meditation often facilitates that shift from accumulation to contribution, and in that process, they become even more influential. For many, meditation also serves as a health practice, not just mentally, but physically. Countless studies have linked meditation to lower cortisol levels, reduced blood pressure, improved sleep, and enhanced immune function. And if you've already optimized every other aspect of your life, nutrition, exercise, environment, the next frontier is optimizing the mind-body connection. Celebrities like Gwyneth Paltrow, Kendall Jenner, and even NBA star LeBron James use guided meditation as part of their recovery and performance routines. It's not a stretch to say that for the modern wealthy, meditation is the new personal trainer, a non-negotiable tool for staying sharp, focused, and healthy at every level. Beyond function, though, there's an aesthetic and lifestyle appeal to meditation that aligns with the luxury mindset. Imagine waking up in a private villa in the Maldives, sipping organic tea, and stepping into a personal meditation garden overlooking the ocean. For the rich, meditation isn't just a practice, it's an experience. High-end resorts now offer mindfulness packages with private gurus, sound bath sessions, and tailored meditative retreats. The wealthy have transformed ancient spiritual practices into curated lifestyle rituals, blending wellness with exclusivity. But underneath the luxury branding, the core is still the same: the desire to feel centered, calm, and awake in a chaotic world. But meditation isn't just reserved for moments of quiet retreat or spiritual getaway. For the ultra-rich, it's baked directly into the structure of their day, like a board meeting with themselves. It's not uncommon to find billionaires beginning their mornings not with emails, but with silence. In fact, many successful people attribute their clarity and decisiveness during the day to that early moment of reflection. For example, Ariana Huffington begins each day with meditation in deep breathing exercises. She considers it essential, not optional. It's her mental armor against distraction, fatigue, and burnout, all very real threats even at the top. And when you think about it, what better time to get still than in the early morning, before the markets open, before the press calls, before the endless chain of decisions that can affect millions of dollars in motion? But what exactly are these wealthy individuals doing during meditation? Contrary to what many assume, it's not always about clearing the mind or chanting mantras. It varies. Some practice mindfulness, the simple observation of breath and bodily sensations. Others use visualization techniques, imagining their goals already achieved, stepping into a mental theater of success. Tony Robbins, the life strategist and multimillionaire entrepreneur, incorporates priming rituals that combine breathwork, gratitude, and intentional thought. He describes it not just as calming, but energizing, a neurological reboot. This intersection of meditation and neuroscience is gaining popularity among the wealthy, especially those in tech and science-forward industries. They're not just meditating for calm, they're hacking the brain for optimal output. And speaking of hacking, let's not overlook Silicon Valley. In recent years, meditation has become a tool of the tech elite. At companies like Google and Apple, mindfulness isn't a trend, it's embedded into the culture. Google's Search Inside Yourself program trains employees in emotional intelligence and meditation, and many former executives have gone on to start wellness and mindfulness-focused ventures. For people designing the future, training the mind has become just as important as coding the next app. There's an understanding that mental clarity is the new competitive edge, a belief that success in the 21st century will not just belong to the most intelligent, but to the most present. This presents a fascinating paradox. On one hand, the rich are living at the peak of material abundance, mansions, staff, access to everything. But on the other, they are intentionally seeking inner simplicity. This is where the wisdom of meditation meets the reality of wealth. Because once you have everything, what you often discover is that true peace, the kind that can't be purchased or performed, comes from within. Meditation becomes the quiet equalizer. In a world of excess, it becomes the most understated form of luxury, mental space. In the same way that a minimalist mansion speaks volumes about taste, a quiet, calm mind speaks volumes about internal mastery. There's also a growing understanding among the wealthy that energy is a currency of its own. If your attention is constantly scattered, from meetings to media to multitasking, your energetic bank account runs dry. Meditation refuels it. It doesn't just help with stress, but with focus. Focus, in turn, multiplies effectiveness. That's why CEOs like Satya Nadella and Bob Shapiro credit meditation with their ability to remain calm under pressure and execute better strategies. In high-stakes environments, a 15-minute meditation could mean the difference between a rash decision and a billion-dollar move. It's a small practice with massive ROI, and that kind of leverage appeals to the business mind. And for some of the wealthiest individuals on earth, meditation is more than a lifestyle choice. It's a spiritual practice. Take Bridgewater's Ray Dalio again. His practice of transcendental meditation began in the 1960s and has remained uninterrupted since. He credits it for breakthroughs, for seeing patterns others miss, and for staying grounded during market crashes. He once said that missing meditation would be like not brushing his teeth. It's that essential. He's not alone. Celebrities like Katy Perry, Hugh Jackman, and Jerry Seinfeld have all spoken about transcendental meditation's profound effects on their mental and emotional lives. For many, it's not just about stress relief, but about deepening one's connection to creativity, intuition, and meaning. Some wealthy individuals go even further, blending ancient wisdom with modern systems. They explore yoga, breathwork, fasting, and even silence retreats, not as fads, but as frameworks for long-term mastery. This isn't about escape, it's about enhancement. Meditation becomes the gateway to not only more productivity, but more presence. And in a world where everyone is trying to reach them, employees, investors, media, critics, this presence becomes sacred. It's something they protect fiercely. It's the reason why you'll often hear of billionaires disappearing for a few weeks to reset. What they're really doing is returning to that internal wellspring, where clarity, peace, and insight reside. And here's another twist. Some of the richest people meditate because they've realized that being is just as important as doing. When you've already climbed the financial mountain, you begin to ask deeper questions. What does all of this mean? Who am I when I'm not running a company? What legacy am I leaving? These existential questions can't be answered in a boardroom. They're often answered in silence, in solitude, in stillness. Meditation becomes a place to reorient one's compass, to hear the faint whispers of wisdom that get drowned out by the noise of daily achievement. One reason the ultra-rich commit so strongly to meditation is because they often live under extreme psychological pressure. It's easy to assume that once someone reaches a certain net worth, their problems disappear. But in reality, wealth brings complexity. Wealth brings scrutiny. The pressure to maintain empires, to protect legacies, to navigate lawsuits, media storms, betrayals, or public expectations. All of that becomes magnified when your name is on the cover of Forbes. Meditation, then, becomes the invisible shield that allows these individuals to operate under intense pressure without burning out. It becomes the buffer between external chaos and internal peace. And it's not just about handling stress, it's about emotional mastery. Many wealthy individuals use meditation to regulate their emotions. That might sound soft or abstract, but emotional control is a superpower in the world of high finance and global leadership. Think of Warren Buffett, known for his incredible patience and calm decision-making. While he may not speak publicly about meditating, his mental discipline reflects the same qualities meditation nurtures: clarity, non-reactivity, and long-term thinking. The ability to pause before responding, the ability to listen more deeply, and to not be swept up in temporary emotions. These traits separate the good from the great, and many of the world's elite are using meditation to sharpen them further. Interestingly, meditation also intersects with physical health in the world of the wealthy. Many high net worth individuals see meditation as part of a broader longevity protocol. From personalized nutrition to biohacking to luxury wellness retreats, meditation is now regarded as one of the most accessible and effective longevity tools available. That's because studies have shown it reduces inflammation, improves immune function, lowers cortisol levels, and even alters brain structure. Wealthy individuals who invest in longevity, such as Brian Johnson or Peter Diamandis, are also investing in meditation, not just as a relaxation method, but as a neurobiological optimization technique. They see it as a daily tune-up for the brain and body, much like going to the gym is for muscles. This obsession with longevity isn't vanity. It's an extension of the same mindset that builds empires. Extend the game, stay sharp longer, live better, better decisions. And so, daily meditation becomes a form of inner compound interest. Small, consistent effort producing massive returns over time. This mindset resonates with the ultra-wealthy. It's the same philosophy that builds fortunes: incremental progress, long-term vision, strategic consistency. And just like wealth accumulation, the true rewards of meditation come not from a single session, but from sustained commitment. We also can't ignore the influence of Eastern philosophy on the wealthy Western elite. Many of the world's richest people have been profoundly influenced by Buddhist, Taoist, or Vedantic traditions. Not necessarily in a religious sense, but in terms of philosophy. Steve Jobs, for instance, traveled to India as a young man and was heavily influenced by Zen Buddhism. His minimalist design ethos and emphasis on intuition were shaped by those meditative roots. Oprah Winfrey often speaks about stillness as her secret weapon, a moment each day to connect with something greater, to reset, and to realign with purpose. These philosophies offer not just peace, but perspective, something the ultra-rich value dearly in a world that constantly pulls them outward. Even among younger generations of wealthy individuals, meditation is catching on fast. Gen Z entrepreneurs and crypto millionaires are using apps like Headspace and Insight Timer, not just to de-stress, but to enhance creativity and stay mentally agile. There's a recognition that success isn't just about hustle anymore. It's about alignment. A calm mind is a creative mind. A still mind is a strategic one. In this fast-moving, always-on culture, meditation offers something increasingly rare: depth. And for those whose time is their most precious commodity, depth is the ultimate luxury. There's also a social dimension to meditation in affluent circles. In recent years, meditation has become something of a cultural signifier among the elite. It's not just about personal well-being. It's a form of status, intellect, and emotional intelligence. Being someone who meditates regularly signals that you are in control, self-aware, thoughtful, not just rich in money, but in mindfulness. At high-level networking events or retreats in Aspen, Davos, or Bali, discussions about mindfulness practices are just as common as investment strategies or startup pitches. In this way, meditation has become a social currency. It's a quiet, subtle way of signaling emotional sophistication in an environment where material wealth is already assumed. And because it's not flashy or competitive, it adds a layer of depth to the public image of the wealthy, one that's grounded, wise, and tuned in. Another powerful reason the wealthy meditate is because it keeps them grounded in gratitude. You might assume that having access to everything would make a person immune to dissatisfaction, but the opposite is often true. Wealth can easily breed entitlement, comparison, and existential emptiness. Meditation, especially forms that focus on loving kindness or gratitude, helps counteract this drift toward emptiness. It brings the focus back to the present moment, reminding even billionaires that joy isn't always found in luxury, but in simplicity. Some of the richest people in the world spend time each day focusing not on what they own, but on what they are thankful for. That shift in perspective is deeply stabilizing. It prevents wealth from becoming a trap and instead allows it to be a tool for good. This isn't just emotional fluff. It's a psychological hack for staying mentally balanced in a world of infinite excess. Meditation also helps the rich stay connected to purpose. Many individuals who reach great financial success eventually ask, now what? The pursuit of money can be thrilling, but once financial freedom is achieved, people often search for something more meaningful. Meditation helps unlock that. By quieting the noise, it creates space for introspection. It helps successful people ask deeper questions. What do I care about? What is my legacy? How can I contribute? In the stillness, they rediscover values beyond profit. That's why many philanthropic ventures begin after periods of self-reflection. Billionaires like Ray Dalio, Mark Benioff, and Melinda French Gates have all spoken about their inner journeys being just as important as their financial ones. Meditation in that context isn't just a daily practice. It's a doorway into legacy building and long-term impact. There's also a deeply practical side to meditation that appeals to the entrepreneurial mindset. Studies have shown that regular meditation improves cognitive function, better memory, sharper attention, and faster decision-making. In fast-paced industries like tech, finance, and entertainment, those cognitive boosts matter. For high performers, meditation isn't a way to escape the game. It's a way to dominate it. It enhances focus, reduces error rates, and even boosts creativity. Many successful individuals use it to generate ideas, solve problems, or reset their minds between meetings. It's like a mental reset button, always available, always reliable. Some hedge fund managers take 5-minute meditative pauses before making multi-million-dollar trades. Artists meditate before hitting the stage. CEOs do breath work before stepping into the boardroom. It's not about being spiritual, it's about being sharp. In the end, meditation is not about incense, chants, or retreating into the mountains. It's a tool, a highly effective, low-cost, zero-barrier tool that's used by some of the most powerful people on earth to stay balanced, focused, and ahead. It helps them manage stress, make smarter decisions, deepen relationships, and align with their greater purpose. The reason it works so well for the wealthy is because it offers something money can't buy: clarity. When you strip away the noise of daily distractions, the chaos of global attention, and the pressure of maintaining an empire, what remains is the core self. And tending to that core self, refining it, understanding it, strengthening it, is the secret to sustained success. We often look at rich people and assume they have everything. But the truth is, they're just as vulnerable to anxiety, burnout, loneliness, and decision fatigue as anyone else, perhaps even more so. With greater wealth comes greater complexity. Meditation, in its purest form, simplifies everything. It returns the mind to the present. It untangles mental knots. It empowers emotional resilience. That's why it's no surprise that so many successful individuals prioritize it daily, not because they have time, but because they make time, because they know that peace of mind is the ultimate asset, the foundation upon which all external achievements are built. Whether it's a tech founder about to close a billion-dollar deal, a fashion mogul about to launch a new line, or a world-famous athlete preparing for the next big win, meditation plays a behind-the-scenes role. It's the quiet engine of confidence, strategy, and grace under pressure. And in a world that's constantly spinning faster, those who pause, who breathe, who center themselves, often come out ahead. Not by rushing harder, but by moving smarter. Meditation doesn't replace hard work. It enhances it. It doesn't replace ambition. It sharpens it. It doesn't eliminate ego. It helps manage it. As the rich and powerful continue to search for longevity, happiness, and sustained relevance, meditation remains a secret weapon. It's an equalizer. Anyone can do it, but few commit to it. That's the difference. And that's what separates those who simply have wealth from those who truly master it. Thank you for watching Affluence Influenced, where wealth is always within reach. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the minds and habits of the ultra-successful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. New videos drop every week exploring how the world's most influential people live, think, and thrive. Until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, and stay influenced.